Hi, and welcome to Employee Payroll Recording System developed in C# using MySQL Database. Now let me just show you guys how this works. Okay, we have the details of this very employee, Mary Holloway, and right here we have the payslip of Mary Holloway. We can always print that if we want. Just hit on the print button, and there we go. All you need to do is then click on the print icon there. Or if you want to search, we can search for any of the employee. Let's click on search. There we go. We have Sally Stanmore details there. Every single information about Sally Stanmore wages, and there's the pay slip that we can also print out if we want, and we can refresh to get back straight into the system. When we right click here or we click up here, we get the details of every single employee there, and this is Casey Jonathan, right? We can update any information if we want. Suppose we want to update Casey Jonathan's wages here, where she's receiving the salary is $4,443. Let's assume there's a mistake made, we change that, and we carry out some changes here as well. All we then need to do is just to hit on update and accept that, and there we go. You can see the update has automatically taken place. The other thing that we can do with the system is we can delete if we want. Let's see any duplicated information that we can delete. There's none here, but let's assume this let's say it's Tony. Tony Anthony. Let's duplicate Tony Anthony's details right in there and give it a different reference number. Okay, and that would be our duplicate. As you can see, this is the end of the data grid view. All we just need to do is we can add Tony Anthony detail on the system. So let's come right down here. Should be able to find Tony Anthony. That's the first Tony Anthony here, and let's see where we'll be able to find the second one. That's the second one, Tony Anthony. So we have two records of Tony Anthony in the system. So let's assume we want to delete one of them. So let's say we want to delete maybe this. Okay, all we just need to do is hit on delete there. And there we go. If you look in here, all of the information of Tony Anthony is all gone. Okay, it's either if you want to re-enter it, else you can always just click on reset. You can exit if you want. The choice is yours. So guys, this is just an overview of the employee payroll management system with a database developed using C#, and what will happen is it's going to be a complete tutorial of this, and I'll see you guys shortly. Bye for now. Okay guys, let's start by clicking on create new project, and now we select C#. Let's click on next, and we give our project a name. I'm going to call that CS_payroll. That's the name of my project. I'm going to click on create. Now that my development environment is ready, I'm going to go to the project, and right here I will enter 1386 by 788. So that's in the property size. Just press enter. So now come here, you see where we have tools. Let's go to NuGet package manager. Now select the package manager here, and what we want there is to go straight to the browser. Inside the browser, let's type in MySQL there. Let's search for the library for that. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm going to now click on that, and let's come right here to see where we have the name of my project, CS_employee_payroll. Make sure that is checked, and I'm going to click on install. So what I'm just doing now is embedding MySQL data straight into this application. information, and here I'm going to click on OK. There we go, and let's accept the license or the licensing agreement. Click on accept, and that is it. Is now building up building up my SQL data, all the necessary information required. As you can see right here, saying it's successful there. So I can now close that. I don't need it anymore. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to go straight to the toolbox, and right inside the toolbox, the first thing, let me just get my paint document, and I will also grab the print document, and I will also grab the print preview. There we go. I have those two on my plane right here. Let's see, there we go. Alright, the other tools I would need is going to be the plane right here. There's it. Let's grab that, and I'm going to need about 3 of those for now. There we go. Let's drag it that much, and let's go straight to the properties there. Change the border style to fix 3D there, and let's copy it. Hold on to the control, click and drag. That's 2, and I'm going to need 1 more. So let's minimize the size of this, about that. Grab another one there, and that's going to be for my buttons, right? And let's just move these ones down a little bit. Okay, drag this that much. Alright, I'm going to need another one right in here, so let's come right here. I'm going to do the same thing, change the border style to fix 3D, and just grab it and drag it that much. Hold on, first let's copy this. I'm going to need some there. Right. Okay, so let's go back in here. Might as well pin this down and come right up here. I will need a data grid view here and buttons here. Hold on to control, click and drag. Select those two, drag them, drop it there. And what else do we need? We need some labels and text box. Labels, text box. And I will also need a combo box. Let's come right here, combo box. Here, I'm going to need one here. Okay. Maybe change the size of this. Come here, select both anyway, and just change the font size to something a bit readable. Let's make that maybe bold. I can always change that anyway. Let's click and drag. There we go. Right. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I will speed up the design of this whole interface. Then I'm going to get back to you guys because it's easy to do. That's no big deal. You should be able to just put the design of the interface together. Because at the rate at which I'm going, it's going to be too long. Alright, this is going to be for my receipt. I'm going to enter rich text box in there. So I might as well just speed up the whole design, and I will explain what I've done, because it's easier that way. There's going to be a rich text box here. So let's just speed that up, guys, and I'll get back to you guys. Okay guys, this is how the interface looks right now, and here they are all text box. This is a combo box, and this is a text box, and every single one of these are all labels. Okay, all of these, and this is a combo box. Then we have text box here, and this is a date and time picker, and right here I have a rich text box. Okay, that is a text box as well. That's a button, and the rest of these are just buttons. That's all there is to it. I've also given most of them a name, apart from one or two that I didn't bother giving name to. I didn't give the data group the name, I just left the name like that. And now that's my rich text box. That is for search button. Date and time has no name, just as date and time. Then period of tax and so on, they all have a name. There. So what we need to now do is, since we've officially embedded my SQL to the whole system, I'm now going to start. As you can see, this is other payment. I've entered some value in there. I'm now going to start work with the coding. First thing first, let's start work with these other payments first. See these very other payments, so we'll take care of that now, so that I don't forget or leave that out. So make sure the payment is selected, and let's go straight here. You see where we have the event, click on the events right there. So I'm going to use two separate events. Mouse click. When the mouse click, I want this data. I just want it to disappear. So mouse click, we want that gone. There. The text equals nothing. Enter. Semicolon. Okay. Now dot, we want to get it focused straight onto the text box. There we go. So that's the first event that I'm using. The second event that I will use on the same component is going to be mouse leaves. That is it. Click in there. Now in there, let's say if this dot text equals empty, okay, if other payment dot text equals empty, okay, we now want, enter your curly braces, we now want other payment dot text to reassign the value that was in there. So if you didn't enter anything, the value will just default back to 0.0. That's all I've asked the system to do in here. Okay, that is that taken care of. Alright, so that's so easy, we don't need to run it out. So the next thing I want to do now is, let's come right here and take care of the reset. Double click on the reset. So right in there, maybe I should start with okay, we'll start with that. So we go for txt ref dot text equals clear. We have txt first name dot text equals clear as well. And I have, let me just copy these two. Alright, I'll use that to speed things up. txt surname dot text and so on. So I'm going to speed that up, you get the whole idea now. Okay guys, and that's it for the reset button. There we go, those are the lines of code for the reset. Okay, so let me just copy this cache, and I'm now going to go straight into the design view. Right here I have my print document and print preview. Select the print preview. Let's go straight to the properties, and right on the property, you see where we have document. I'm going to click on that and let's select print document 1. Okay, so the next thing we want to do now is double click on the print document 1. Right in the code view of the print document 1, I'm going to just type in try. Let's enter curly braces. Now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to call the system. So let's say system dot that will be drawing, wrong spelling, dot font, and the font that I want to use, I'm going to specify that in there. So let's say the font, let's just give that a name. So I'm going to call that font spring equals new system draw font. Copy and paste that, and right here let's enter the name of the font. I can just make that area, and the size of my fonts, I will make that 20. That might be too much, let's make it 18, and comma, font style, let's say dot regular, there, and enter semicolon there. Now to be able to print, I would then say e dot get the graphic, and this graphic I would like it to draw spring, enter bracket and semicolon out there. Then inside the bracket I need to then specify the name of my rich text box, that is called rt payslip dot text, rt payslip dot text, comma, the object that I've created for my print for the font object, that is it right here, this very one. Now comma, the type of brush I intend to use, that should be a comma there, get rid of that, comma, brush or brushes dot black, and then let's set the coordinate of, that's for just where my dialog will appear, and that's it. Then right underneath here, this one that I copied earlier, I'm just going to paste that in there, so if there's any error that should pop up. So that takes care of my print. Now let's go straight inside the print button, double click on the print button. We now need to call, let's say that will be print preview, this very one, dot show dialog there, and right underneath here I'm going to enter that. If there's any error, that will take care of that, so that should be semicolon. Right, so print preview is taken care of as well. Now let's come in here, let's take care of one other very easy thing. So let's take care of exit. For the exit, I'm going to enter try catch as well, just to take care of any error. Paste that in there, and right in here let's call our object dialog result, there we go. And that dialog result, I'm going to give my variable name, I call it I exit, and I exit itself is going to take in the following. So maybe I should just copy all of this and just paste it in there. That's going to be the message that will appear inside I exit. So in there I'll just enter a message that will say confirm if you want to exit. So that will be confirmed. So all you just need to do in there is to confirm if you want to exit out of the system. So maybe I should press enter here. Okay, so that you guys will see the whole thing. And here, so I have my first argument, second argument is the name of my system, and the third argument is message box button. So I'm going to say dot yes or no, and my message box icon, so I can just leave that as information, or I can change that to question there. So now let's come right down here and use an if statement to validate the selection made. So I'm going to say if I exit equals dialog results dot yes. In that case, application dot exit there, and that takes care of exits. So from here down here, that's my exit taken care of. All right, so let's take care of something else. We've taken care of these and print. Okay, the rest will require the use of database. Now let's run it before we go into the database programming part of it. Okay, so let's try out exit. That is it. I don't want to exit yet. I'm going to exit out. As you can see, that is the icon for the question sign icon, the title. Confirm if you want to exit, and message box button, that is it, yes or no. So let's assume I enter any data in here, click on print, and let's try that out. Yes, print is working as well. Okay, let's see if this data appears. There we go, there. So I'm going to exit out of there, and that is it. The print is working. Resets, there we go, the reset works as well. Okay, I noticed the reset actually clears the data that I have in here, so I'm going to change that. So when I click on reset, I just want the data to default back to 0.0. So let's go back into reset. So right here, back into reset. So we need txt other payments. There we go, other payment will be 0.0 there. So that takes care of that. Now we need to be able to connect to this database. Let me show it to you guys. That is the database I intend to use. It's called employee DB. So let's see right inside my employee DB. Drop it down. Let's have a good look at the table. That's the table there that I've created. I believe you guys know how to create a table inside MySQL. It's very simple. If you don't know what to do, there are a lot of tutorial on YouTube that can help you guys out. And I also have a tutorial on how to create database on MySQL. And those are the information that I've just added. Okay, so it's not difficult, but you must install it on your system if you don't have it installed. If you don't have it installed, there are a lot of tutorial on how to install it. So I'm going to minimize that. Now double click on my form or anywhere on this form. I need to go right up there. The first thing I want to do is to get hold of this library. So that's going to be MySQL. That is it right there. It's because I was able to install MySQL earlier. That's why I'm able to see MySQL pops up. So MySQL data that will be MySQL client, enter semicolon. So I've taken care of that. Now right underneath namespace, okay, we have public, okay, class form right there. I'm now going to call as follows. So that will be MySQL Connect or connection, and my MySQL connection. So that is what I am calling my constructor. MySQL connection. The constructor's name is SQL Con equals new MySQL, and you enter parentheses there. Now the next thing is, let's call MySQL Command. So I'm going to copy that, So this will be the next one. Here is going to be MySQL Command. So I think I'm also going to change this name to SQL CMD, and that is the name of the constructor there. So that is taken care of. Now the next one that I want to call is MySQL DataAdapter. DataAdapter. Right, and this one I'll just give it DT and uppercase A. We'll just copy this and paste it right here to the second constructor, or the third constructor taken care of. Now the next one is let me just call DataTable. So DataTable, and I'm going to call that SQL DT. Okay, that will represent DataTable equals new. That is just an object, so copy that and paste that in here, and then top parentheses. Now the next one is, let me get hold of the reader, MySQL reader. Okay, MySQL reader, I'm going to call that SQL RD. There. Okay, the other thing I want to add is, let me just enter one more. That will be data sets. Data set, and I'll just call that object ds equals new data set, and enter parentheses there. Now right, that should be equals, and right underneath that I'm going to then say string server, that is so that I can link up with my database here, this very database, and I want to link up with it. So I'm going to say string server equals localhost, and the next one is going to be string that will be string username equals root, and followed by string password equals KC there, and string database equals the name of my database. If you guys can still recall, it's called employee DB. Enter semicolon there. This is very employee DB. That is the database I showed to you guys earlier. Look at it right there, employee DB. Okay, so minimize that. I've just called that database here. Now, right underneath here, I'm going to declare as follows a function that will call my database. If you guys notice this, most of them are still, in fact all of them are all grayed out because it's not used yet. All the variables are not used yet, that's why it's grayed out. So let's come right down here and declare the following function. The function is going to be private void, and let's call that upload data. Press enter, curly braces. Now as you can see, my function is grayed out as well. You see this very function? I'm even going to just copy it because I will initialize it inside my form. So paste that in there and enter semicolon. Okay, now what is my function going to be? If you guys can still record the name of my connector there, MySQL Connector, I'm going to paste that in here. dot string connection string. And what is this connection string? First of all, server. Server. What is the server called? Let's come out of there. Plus server. The server is called server. Enter the plus sign and semicolon. Now the next one is going to be, let's enter special mark there. Okay, the next one is going to be plus username or user ID. Okay, let's just say user ID equals, that should be inside a quote as well, equals plus username, and let's just copy this. Paste that in there. That takes care of that. Then the next one now to take care of will be the password. Password equals, oh, there should be an equal sign here, right? There should be equal sign here as well. Yeah, and password equals password plus password, and then I can then paste that. Yeah, that takes care of the password. Move this so that you guys can see the last part of it. Okay, the next one is database. So for the database, that's going to be database equals, then we have a plus sign and we enter database there and semicolon. There we go. Now that that is taken care of, let's open up this very SQL Connect dot open there, enter parentheses there. Now that that is open up, now we want to assign the SQL Connect straight into the command here, this very one. I'm going to grab that, paste that underneath here. So SQL Command dot connection, that will be equals SQL there. Now let's grab SQL Command again so that we can take care of our SQL statement here. SQL dot command text equals, so let's say select, maybe we should select star for all from employee DB, enter semicolon there. So what I've just asked the system to do is to select from my database known as employee DB, and that's, I then specify the name of my database, select every single component there. That's what this star represents. Okay, let's increase the size so that you guys can see that. Then the next thing is, let's see if I press enter, that shouldn't give us any error. Okay, that should be fine. Okay, the next thing we want to do is, let's call the reader to open up. SQL Read equals command dot, that will be execute the reader there. Okay, now that the reader is stored right in here, okay, the execute reader is stored right inside the SQL RD. We now need to get it loaded, so that will be SQL, and I call that DT dot load. And what are you loading? Load up the content we have inside SQL Reader, this very one. Enter semicolon in there. Now let's close up the reader. Come right down here. There, paste, and let's say close. Now we close up the connector as well, this very one. And close that as well. Dot. Close. There should be a parenthesis there. Parenthesis is required here as well. There. Now we then need to assign every single component straight into our data grid view. So data grid view 1 dot data source, and this data source will have to get all the information from this table, SQL DataTable. There. And that is it. That should connect us straight to that very database, this very one here. So look at the information we have in there. So I'm now going to try and run it. Okay, before we run it, let's make sure we have called the function. That is the function, this very function that I've just finished taking care of. Okay, so we now have to run the system. Let's click on that. There we go. That is my database. Okay, if you guys have a good look at that database and what I have in here: Casey, Mary, Sally, Tony, Paul, Pat. And let's see what we have in there as well. Casey, Mary, Sally, Tony. There should be Paul and Pat there. There we go. Right, that is fine. Now there's one thing I want to do. You see here I have the refresh, so I'm going to take care of that. Okay guys, let's exit out and take care of this refresh. Yeah, exit. Okay, so I need another function. I'm going to create function for that because I intend to use that very refresh for almost 2-3 more buttons. So I'm going to come through that right here, down here. I've already copied that. Yeah, okay, copy it. That's fine. Come right down here, right underneath here. Just paste that and change the name around. So that's going to be known as refresh DB. That is the name of that. Refresh DB. Okay, inside the refresh DB we call our database. That's fine. We get it opened. That's good. No, we just want to refresh, so I can get rid of that. Alright, we get it connected here, and in here I'm going to change this. So let's get rid of this and just change the whole lot here. Or let's say string ID equals txt reference ID itself dot text. I might not even use that, but let's see. Okay, that's taken care of. So instead of using command here, I'm going to change that to the data adapter itself. So let's go up there and just grab that, grab everything we have in here. Yeah, grab it all. So and bring that constructor right down here. Paste and change this around. Close this. Enter, comma, SQL Command right there. There. Okay, now let's grab the table. We need the table as well. Maybe come up here. Where's my table? And grab this very one. Yeah. And come right down here and paste the table here. And this very table we want to now store as follows inside it. Let's come right there. I'm going to get rid of this executor. go. I don't want you. I want the table adapter. Okay, the case of the table adapter, and I want you to fill up. So let's say dot fill. Dot fill. Okay, should be fill up with the reader. No, with the table, not the reader. Grab the table, data table. Yeah. Okay. Now that the data table fills that up, we now need this to open up. So let's grab all of this and delete that. There we go. And that should take care of my. That should actually take care of my reset or refresh. Okay, I haven't used this. Maybe just get rid of the string ID because I decided not to use it. So get rid of that. All right. So just these few lines. So I'm now going to copy this. That should go straight into this very button here. Double click on that button and paste that in there. There we go. We will also need it inside my delete and updates. So maybe paste that for delete for now, and we can refresh that. Okay, updates. I think I might need it for updates. I'm not too sure yet. Okay, let's paste it there. If I don't need it, I'll delete it anyway. Now let's come in here. Go back to, oh no, let's go back in here. Yeah. Okay. Now for us to be able to, okay, I know what I want to do. Let's copy this try cache, and now I'm going to use the try cache for it, should in case if there's any error. Okay, right up here. I'm back to my refresh function. So back in here, I'm just going to enter try cache, enter the curly braces there, and just paste that. Right, so that should take care of that if there's any error. So the system should just grab whatever error I might face in there. Okay, that's fine. Now that this is done, for us to be able to know that the refresh is working, we need to be able to search. So let's come in here, select the text box, go straight to the properties, and right here on the properties, go to the event and double click on key press right here. Double click on key press. There we go. So right in there, I'm going to enter try cache, no, that should be coily braces. Right, right underneath here, enter the cache that I copied earlier. Right, and in here, if e.keychar, you just want to use this to check the carriage return, equals character, and this character is 13. 13 is the carriage return. Press enter and open up another curly braces. We now want, once if it's key press, we want this to happen. Data view. So I'm going to call that dt equals SQL dt dot default view. Okay, let's say dv dot roll filter equals string dot format, and that's that we want to format. I want to check for the first name, that I have in here. That is it. Okay, and session with the first name. That's what I just asked the system to do. Now come right in here and just say like, enter an apostrophe, %, curly braces. that will be 0, close the curly braces, a percentage, apostrophe, and we then come out of there and say comma, search for this information. Make sure this information corresponds with whatever we have inside the search text box dot text, and enter semicolon there. That is the search taken care of. Now we need our data grid view, so let's come right in here. I'm just going to copy the data grid view, we'll just copy this right here where we have the search. Look at it. So paste my data grid view underneath, data grid view dot data source, and the information that's going to be added will be dv dot to table, parentheses, there we go, and that's it. That should take care of that. So I'm going to copy this every single line there, and I will also paste that inside my button here. Double click on the button will be click. So if the button is click, I want that to happen, but this will give me an error because the button doesn't use the event known as carried return. So I'm going to delete that for the button. So the button only use the click event. Only if we change the button to carry return, then that means we have to use key press for the button as well. But that's for click, so that is fine. So if I run the program now, click on run. Okay, decision time, guys. So let's come in here, search for any of these names. So I'm going to search for, let's search for Casey. Click, there we go. Look at that. Now we need to validate if the refresh works. There we go. That's fine. And let's say we have Paul and we deleted, supposing, I'm just assuming we deleted something. If I search for it and just, we can also refresh. Okay, that's fine. So the refresh works, the exit works, and the reset works, as you can see. Refresh is fine. Alright, so all we need to do, and print works as well. We now need to take care of delete, receipt, update, and total. Now I'm going to exit out and let's take care of this total. So exit, so let's go back in here, just click on the design and double click on the total right here, the total button. There we go. Now to start with, I'm going to declare the following variables. Double. The first one is going to be gross pay, followed by deduction, and comma. The next one, let me make that as net pay, and period, tax period or period, right. And I'm also going to declare the following as well. There we go. Those are the variables that I intend to use. As you can see, they are all underlined just because I haven't used them yet. Now I'm going to start with this very one. Yeah, I'm going to call that inner city. The inner city will be dealing with the following. Let's say double dot pass, and what am I passing in there is going to be the txt waiting allowance dot text. There. Next one is going to be the basic pay. Grab the basic pay, paste, and the basic pay is going to be txt basic pay. So let's change that to txt basic pay. Basic salary is called. Okay. Now overtime. Let's paste the overtime here. Overtime is going to be txt overtime as well, so paste that here. There we go. Now let's take care of the gross pay. Grab all of these. Right, and that's will be the calculation of all of the above. So let's add all of these together. Copy them, paste, and let's just change this one to plus and this one to plus as well. Okay, that takes care of the gross pay. Oh, wait a minute, I also have other payments. Okay, let's add other payments somewhere. Let's just say other payments there, and other payment I'm going to have to add that as well here. Other payments will be right here, equals, grab all of these and change that to other payment. Get rid of this txt other payment. Yep, it's right there. Okay, now that is taken care of, and now I need this gross pay here. I need it right here. Let's see the name of that. LBL gross pay. Okay, that's good. So let's go back into our code and come right down here. LBL gross pay dot text equals, we have to convert that to string dot format, and that is going to be, let's open up a bracket for speech mark, curly braces, let's say 0 column C2, and that means 2 decimal place, and let's close that. Then what value do you want in there? We want the gross pay here, so we'll put a comma there and just paste that in there, enter a semicolon here, and there we go. So whatever we get here is now assigned here, and this one will give us the pound sign anyway. Alright, so that's good. Now let's take care of the tax. Tax is going to be as follows. I'm going to need tax, student loan, and NI. So I'm going to copy all of these and paste them right underneath here. Okay, the very first one I'm going to take care of will be the tax. And as for the tax, that's going to be all of the above, the inner city and so on. Then we get it taxed. So I'm going to copy this, or I can just tax this. Right, let's see, that should work anyway. So the tax can become the gross pay. Yeah, we want to tax it before. Okay, gross pay, let's multiply that by 9 and we then divide it by 100. There. And for the pension, the pension is going to be, I'm going to copy all of this as well. And how many percent are we taking now? Let's say about 12% pension. And this is student loan, that would be about 5%. And NI, maybe about 3. Okay, there we go. Okay, we will now assign each individual into Let's start with LBL tags. Dot text that is equals. Let's grab all of these, paste that here. So this will be for tax, taken care of. Right. Now I need pension and so on. Okay, let's copy that. That will be LBL BL pension. Paste. And we grab pension. Paste that here as well. The pension is dot text. Okay, now let's take care of student loan. LBL student loan dot text equals all of these and paste. And then here we have student loan in there. Then the next one we have LBL, that will be NI payment. Grab all of these, paste, and let's grab the NI right here. Now we need to work out the deduction. So deduction will be all of this. So let's come right down here. Deduction or deductions equals tax plus pension plus student loan and you have to add your NI payment. Those are the deductions from your gross pay. There we go. So LBL deduction equals this. Grab all of this, paste that here, and copy deduction and paste that right in here. There. Taken care of. Okay, as you can see, we know the deduction and we also know the gross pay. We know the gross pay and the deduction. However, we need to find out the net pay. Net pay. Okay, to work out the net pay, that is going to be the gross pay subtract deduction, and that is the take home. Net pay is the take home. So we now need LBL net pay. Let's grab all of these, paste that here, and that should give you net pay. Right, there we go. Now you know how much you're going to take home. What about period? We need to find out the period. The tax period will be whatever is assigned to that. So let's say period. So period, let's just change that maybe to tax period. Tax period. Okay, let's just leave it like that. Come right now instead of doing any other changes. Period equals double dot pass whatever we have inside txt tax period dot text. There. Now we have that. We now need whatever we have inside LBL, inside TXT tax period, inside LBL tax period, taxable dot text. That is equals to, copy this, paste, grab the period, and that will tell us overall tax that you paid so far. Okay, now let's come up here or down here as well. But I need to work out the taxable, no, pensionable amounts. That is pensionable. Pensionable, that is the amount you earn before you can start paying pension. So let's say pensionable is going to be period. No, it's going to be period multiplied by pension. Where's pension? Somewhere up there. Okay, let's just type that in. There. I believe the pension is there as well. Yeah. Okay. That is fine. Okay, guys, let's try out what we've done so far. Well, you see this period, tax period. Let me do one thing here. I'm going to come in here and the default tax period, I'm going to change that. Let's come right in here and look for the item. That's it right here. I have 1 to 12 and the default tax period will always be 0. So which you can also always change there. So if you don't have anything there, it will be 0. So let's run it anyway and see. Let's just see within there. Okay, that's the default tax period. Officially default tax period is June, so that's 6. So let's enter the waiting allowance there and the basic pay. Let's say that's the basic pay overtime, and in here any extra pay. If I come out of it, let's see, I'll come in there out of it. Alright, that's fine. Click, nothing. Come out of it. Okay, that's not working the way I want. I need to check that. Alright, click on total. There we go. That is it. Alright, so that is not too bad. Okay, so for the taxable, that is what is taxable. That's fine. So let's clear. Okay, if I clear, I would want this to default back to 0 as well. I just clear it all. So come right here and take care of that too. Let's go back into the code. Okay, first thing first, let's grab the name of this. That is, okay, taxable, no, tax period. So let's come into the reset. Tax period. There we go. Let's enter 0 in there. That's fine. Now let's see this one. Select that. Let's go straight to the properties. I need to see which mouse enter. No. Mouse enter. Mouse click. No, that should have been mouse leaves. Okay, this is wrong. I'm going to grab all of this, just cut it off. And let's go back in there. That meant to be mouse leaves. There we go. Double click. There. When the mouse leave, it should default back to 0. So when I run it now, let's see. that should work anyway. Alright, let's try it out. Mouse click, mouse leave, mouse click, mouse leave, and this we can always refresh back to 0. Okay, let's exit out and let's take care of the connection inside the total here. One thing I like to do is to prevent any error. I'm going to enter try cache inside this total. So let's say try. Let's get rid of it, of this, and yes, come right down here and paste what I've just copied now here, there, and underneath here I'm now going to enter my connection for the database, because I want the total to be able to insert every relevant information straight into my database. So let's go up there and just copy one or two. Yeah, there we go. No, not that one. Let's grab this other one. Yep, that's it. Copy up to here. Right, take it down. And right in there, just paste that in there. Now, one or two changes that I need to carry out. The database connection statement is fine. I open up my connection there, that's fine. Alright, now let's come in here. That will be insert, because I want you to insert some data into it. So I'm going to clear all of this and I'll enter insert into database. Let's enter, open up a bracket here, ID, that's the first one. The second one is first name, comma, surname, comma, address. So those are my fields that I'm actually entering in there. Let's enter. Let's come down here and just add plus sign here, press enter. Then the next one is going to be mobile. After mobile, I have the within, and after that I have salary there. Yeah, comma, overtime. I think my overtime is with uppercase T. Yeah. Then order pay. I have tax. I have pension, student loan. Have NI pay, and I'm just going to speed up the rest, comma, space back, plus, press enter, and let's speed up the rest. And there we go, guys. Those are all my columns up to here, and from here the value will be retrieved from inside all of these components. So have a good look at it. Reference, first name, surname, address, gender, mobile, within, basic pay, overtime, order payment, and so on. Alright, that's taken care of. Now let's round up the command. Come right down here and just paste that command dot execute non-query, enter parentheses, semicolon, and let's run this up as well. Round up the connector, dot, close. Okay, let's get the system to refresh. Okay, it's not there. Let's say just refresh. That's it right there. Refresh DB. If you guys can still recall, refresh DB is my function that I created earlier. And there we go. So that is how you get the database connected or inserting values into the database. Okay, have a good look at it. Now let's run it and see. These are the rest of the codes for the total. Okay, if you take it from total up here, you can just bring it up right down. Adjust this properly. Right, and that is my insertion statement to insert data. So let's run that. Okay, decision time. Let's enter reference number, and here the name is going to be, let's call him Victor Mansfield, and here has the address. We call that Church Street. Waiting allowance, basic pay, overtime, no any other payments or in your tax period. 6. Okay, TC code, that's just an ordinary code. NI, you can enter that in there, make that up, and this is that. Alright, that's it. The rest will be populated by total button. There we go. And let's see Victor Mansfield. Let's see if Victor is right there. That's it. That is Victor Mansfield right on my system. That's good. Alright, that's how you insert your own, or you write your insertion statement. Now the next thing I want to do is when I click on this, I want to be able to highlight all of these data selected on every single components here. And receipt, I think I should change this to payslip instead of receipt, and this one will be updates. If we carry out any amendment, we want to be able to update it. Alright, so we need to take care of 1, 2, what about delete? We need to take care of delete as well. It's not working yet. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. There's something else in there. Okay, so let's come down here. First of all, I need to change this to, instead of receipt, yeah, let's change that to payslip. Right, and let's change the name as well. Instead of receipt, let's change it to payslip. Okay, that's fine. Now double click on it. There we go. So for my receipt, the first thing I'm going to do is to clear out the receipt if there's anything in the RT payslip .text, or let's just say clear. There. Alright, rt.append. We want it to append as follows. .append, and what is that going to be? First of all, I'm going to enter tab, 2 tabs, and let's come out of there, and there's a plus, payslip. There we go. Plus, I'm going to add another tab. Let's come in here, just copy that and paste it here. There. And plus, let's go for carriage return. Next line. There we go. Alright, I'm going to copy this, come right down here, paste, and this one I'm just going to, that would be a line underneath. Yeah, I think that should do, maybe one more. Alright, now the next one is going to be employee ID. So clear this and just enter employee ID. Okay, that's fine, employee ID, and plus let's add a space in there. Okay, get rid of this. And here I'm going to enter txt reference dot text. Okay, plus that. Okay, that should take care of that. Alright, so let's just copy this. I need a lot of that. Okay, I'm gonna have to speed this up, but let's start with first name. So that's 5. That's for the first name. txt first name. Surname. Change that to surname. And here we surname. We have address here. Let's change the next one to address. Then what do we have? We have gender. And the gender is COB gender. COB gender. Yeah. And after that I have mobile. So I believe you guys get the whole idea, because I'm going to have to speed this up. We have mobile phone here. Copy and paste that in here. Alright, let's speed that up. Okay guys, that takes care of my receipt, so have a good look at it. And take it down. There. That's my receipt. So if I run it, just click on, let's enter some data instead of just clicking for fun. Enter some data here, and the name is going to be, let's say, Johnny Davis. Address, Hall Town Road. Right. Okay, gender is male. Mobile number. Tax period 6. Within allowance. Wages. Overtime. Extra pay. And there, what we just need to do now is to click on total. There we go. And in here we didn't enter tax code, NI number, NI code. There. Click on payslip. There we go. Look at that. That's the payslip right there. We can then print out the payslip for Johnny. Let's see. There we go. Look at that, guys. That's not bad. Alright, close that. So that is working. We need to take care of update, delete, and we also need to take care of this. When I click on this, I want it to display. Okay, let's take care of that now. Come right in here. You see this one? let's come straight to the property, that's the data grid view. Let's go to events and let's double click on cell, double click on cell, click, and in there the very first thing is going to be txt reference dot text that is equals to data grid view 1 dot select row, selected row is 0 dot cells, and the very first cell is 0 dot value dot to string. There, that's the very first one. Enter semicolon. And the next one, that is going to be, copy that, txt first name, let's just copy it up to text and just paste that in there, and the cell will become 1. The next one is txt surname, paste, cell become 2, txt address, and the cell becomes 3, txt, no, that should be cob gender, there, and the next one is txt mobile, there. So I'm going to just speed that up. I believe you guys get the whole idea now. Okay, let's speed that up. Alright, those are the lines of code, and I've also entered try catch in there. Those are the lines of code. Let's take it down. I just run the edit up with this. Okay, I'm going to run it so that you see how that looks like. Run. Okay guys, decision time. You click, there we go. You see what I'm talking about? So any role I select, I can see the details of any of the employee, and we can just print it out. Okay, select that, there we go. Alright, you can then print if you want. There. Okay, that's fine. And let's clear. Now we need to take care of 1, 2. Let's clear just those 2 remaining. Alright. Exit. Yes. Let's go back out here and let's take care of delete. Double click on delete. Alright. That's the delete. Okay, for the delete, I'm going to copy my connection statement here. Let's go up here. I'm going to copy this one. Yeah, copy. And let's go back to the delete. There we go. I'm going to use try catch, try. Press enter. Enter curly braces there, and just paste the lines of code that I've just copied, and let's enter my catch statement. I'm going to copy it from here. Go back in here. Yeah, that's my delete. And just paste that here. There. Alright. So you see this refresh that I entered before, I'm going to just cut that off and put it right underneath here. There. Now let's delete some of the components we don't want from this delete. Now I'm going to get rid of this open. Okay. This very one, I'm going to use SQL statement, so that will be delete from employee db where id equals speech math plus id plus id. That should be id. Get rid of that. Okay, and enter another speech mark. Okay, we're having an error. I need to actually use, let's declare a variable here, string id, and where are we going to get that from txt reference id dot text. There we go. So that takes care of that. That error is gone. Alright, id comes from here. Yeah. Now we can then open up our system here. Let's get it open, copy that, paste that underneath here, and say dot open, parentheses, and semicolon. Now that is done, what is? We need to get it executed. Instead of, yeah, that's fine, okay, that can stay. This we have to go, these two, yeah, get rid of them. And I can just add a message box. Let's add a message box saying, just to give me something, maybe yes, it's data record deleted, something like that. Okay, get rid of this and just say record deleted. Record deleted. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Alright. Now close the connection and refresh the whole bit. That is delete taken care of. I might as well try out the delete before I take care of the update. Run the program. Okay, right here, let's come in here now. I want to select any of these. Let's select Part Packer, that's Part Packer there, and we want to get rid of Part Packer. I just come right down here where we have delete. Okay, let's hit. Okay, hit on delete. There we go. Record deleted. If I click OK, that's it. Part Packer's details is gone. Although we still have it here, but if we don't want it, we can just click on reset and we'll get the whole system reset. Alright, I'm going to click on reset, or we can just re-add it onto the database. Okay, reset, that's it. It's all gone. Alright, so we now need to take care of update. So let's exit out. Now go to update, double click on update. Right, so right there in update, let's copy all of this information from delete. Just going to copy all of that. I'm going to delete most of it anyway. Copy. I need the try cache as well, that's why I copied it all. Alright, come right down here, paste, and let's get rid of all of this, or maybe leave this. Get rid of all of these. There. Delete this one because I already have one here. Okay, so now what we want to do is let's come right down here and we're going to let's start by saying string id equals txt reference.text. There. That's the very first one. The next one is going to be string first name equals txt first name. dot text. Then we have string ID, now string surname equals txt surname there. So I guess you get the whole idea. I'm going to speed up that, assigning the data straight into the variables, then I'll get back to you guys. Alright, that is, I've assigned every single string variable there. Now we now need to use SQL statement for, let's copy this. Okay, copy all of them, including these, maybe even this. Okay, I'm going to copy everything in here because I'm going to need it. Copy and bring it down here. There, that's still there anyway. Now, instead of delete, this statement is going to become update. And updates employee ID. Okay, and instead of where, we need to set. Let's set the ID, but we have to then enter that in there, an apostrophe, and in here we will enter another apostrophe here. No, not the apostrophe. Now we've taken care of the very first one, comma. Okay, let's get rid of this for now so that we don't get confused. There we go. Okay, we now need to take care of the first name. First name equals all of these as well, so we can just change that around and we copy that and just bang that in there and change this to first name. Right, that's first name taken care of. What else do we need to take care of? That will be surname. Let's come right here and just right here we enter surname. And paste and change this to surname. There we go. I'm going to reduce this so that you guys can see what I'm up to. Okay, so here I'm just going to come in here. Let's press enter so that we go to the next line. Press enter. The next line, that's going to be address. And address, repeat the same thing. Let's change this to address. Alright, I believe you guys get the whole idea. I'm just going to speed that up now. And I will then get back to you guys as soon as I'm done with this. Okay, this is going to be gender. There. And let's speed that up. That is it, guys. Take a good look at the update statement there. Okay, I would now, instead of delete, I'll just change this to record updated. There. Okay, let's take it from the top. These are the lines of code for update. Take it from the top and bring it down. Okay, those are the lines of codes for updates. And I think I've finished this program. So let's run it and see. Right. Let's select any of the data in here. You see where we have Tony Anthony. I'm going to change the details of Tony Anthony to Tony Montana. There. So all we then need to do is click on update right here. Record updated. Click on OK. That's it. You see that? That has changed automatically. That's beautiful. Print the receipt. We can print. There we go. There. Close that. Okay guys, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you all enjoyed it. Please do subscribe to my channel, and you can also join to become a member of the channel. There are a lot of benefits if you are a member. So you all have a nice day now. Bye for now.